Hello, in this video I'm going to show you the app that I think is one of the best Android apps you can get for your Chromebook for if you've got a stylus like this and you want to do some sketching or any type of artwork. It's really good. But one of my favorites before this was Sketch, which was created by Sony, but that's no longer available on the App Store, which was a bit of a shame because when you get into graphics programs, you get to understand them. And you don't really like the idea of moving to other ones. Obviously, you need to move forward and progress with new technology. But when it comes to things like image editing and stuff like that, because there's a lot to learn, you don't really want to move over to something new. So you can't get that anymore. You can, but it's a bit of a mess to do so. If you try and search for it on the Android App Store, you won't find it. So I've been looking around for a while to find an app that I like, and I've tried quite a few and none of them was as good, but I did find Sketchbook, and Sketchbook is actually better. There's still some things I liked on Sketch, but overall Sketch is much better. So I'm going to show you now what it looks like. So obviously you don't need to use a stylus. You can use your finger, but it's much better with a stylus, but you will need to have a Chromebook that has a touchscreen display. So on here, if we click on Sketchbook there, you can see, and there it is, that's all open. Now from here, what you will notice is this is the first screen. If we just go onto there quickly, so I'm just clicking on the top there, and then I'm going to do new sketch, and you've got on the screen here 1920 by 1080. So I'm going to click on that. And then from here, on the left-hand side here, you will see there's lots of different brushes you can choose, like that. Now that's just a selection of brushes. If you click here, on this one here at the top there, you've got a library, and that selection of brushes you're seeing are the basic brushes there. But as you can see, if you scroll, there's legacy, textures, so many different types of brushes you can choose from, which is really good. And what I also like is, let's say if you're working on a certain project, you need to have brushes from a certain area, like for example here, designer. If you wanted to, you could just click on one of them like that. And once you've done that, click on that pin there to make it blue. And then all of them will be here, as you can see, which is really good. So what I'm going to do is quickly show you. Obviously, there's, like I said, there's lots of different pen choices to choose from, but I'll just quickly show you. I'm going to go too much into this, but the drawing side of things, and I can't draw to save my life. Right, so there we are. Now, if I wanted to change the color, that's really easy to do. It's just on the right hand side here. So I've realized when making this video, you're going to find it very difficult to know what I'm pointing at. So you just, when I mention parts of the screen, you just have to have a look and see where I mean. But here at the top there, on the right hand side here, look there, that's where I'm going to choose there, and you can choose your different colors around there as well. So just spin around like that. So if you wanted a green, go to green, and that's the green that you'll get, but then you can move inside there to get the green that you want as well, and then simply click off and you can use the green, which is all good. So they're different brushes. As I says, there's lots of different choices you've got. You could choose glow, which I quite like glow. That's quite big though. So I'm going to show you now. You can see that's pretty big. I'll show you how you can make that smaller. It's quite easy on this actually. There on the left hand side, you can see me moving up and down, and you'll be able to see the size, and it's going at the moment as 17.5. You can go right the way up or right the way down. What I also like is you get an example, as you can see there, how big that will be, which is really, really good. I really think that's great. And then you can use that like that. And this one here, there's one here, and that's the flow. So the higher the flow, the more like that, for example. If you lower it, it's more like that. So that's really good. Now, staying on this left-hand side here, if you click on one and then click on it again, you get this come up, And from here, you could click on the library if you wanted to, and you get all the pens come up as we just showed you earlier. Or click back on settings, and from here, you've got basics, you've got the size, so you could change the size in here as well if you wanted to, and you've got opacity as well there. And then you've also got here, we're on basic. If it's in blue, it means that you're on this part of the display menu. And if you click on advanced, then you've got things like pressure, stamp, nib, randomize. Sorry, I can't get my words out. Okay, so if you click on pressure, what I like with this one here, as you can see, size with heavy pressure is 6.0 and size with light pressure is 3.1. So you can see it will be a difference, and I'll show you that now. So if I'm just drawing very slightly, that's the pressure go down on there. It's very subtle, but as you can see, so that's really good. And you can change that as well. So you could change it. Not that I would want to change it too much, but I'll just show you so you can see the difference. And if I draw slightly and then go heavy, you can see it change over like that. So that's all good. I think I've showed you everything you need to know on the brush side. I'll just have a quick look because there is a lot of different options in here. We'll have a mess about, of course, and you'll see all the options that you've got. But they're the main options you've got in relation to the brushes. So I'm just going to go back to a blank screen. I'll just quickly click undo. And I do apologise, I'm not looking at the camera, but I'm obviously working on this. So at the right hand side here, you'll see you've got the layers. So that one there, which I'm clicking on, is your background. That's your background layer, and this is the layer we're on now. If you wanted to, you could add layers, and I'll show you that in a second why you may want to add layers. All depends on what you're doing. So here on the top here, we're going to have a look at this now. Okay, so this one here was the menu where you've got your new sketch, you can check your gallery, preferences, share, different things like that. So that's where you'd save as well. And then here you've got lasso, you've got rectangle, you've got magic wand. Magic wand is great if, for example, you're say for example, like I use green screen for some of my videos. If I wanted to remove that green screen and have it transparent, that's when, for an image, not a video obviously, but for an image, that is where I would use the magic wand. So it's really good with things like that. And then at the top here, that's when you want to move something. The ruler is really good. If you click on the ruler, for example, if I wanted to do my logo for my channel and my blog, which you've got to have a really steady hand to do. If I tried it, I can make it quite steady, but obviously not as steady as I'd like. But what the good thing is, to make it steady, you need to have your hand on the paper as well. And you can do that with this and it doesn't get in the way. So it's good, I'll show you. So go like that, and I'm actually now got my knuckles resting against the display as well, but it has only registered the stylus. So that's really good to see. So as you can see, that's not very straight. So if you had the ruler, we could use this one and there, and then draw above, and it will keep it straight. It doesn't matter whether you try and go above it like I'm doing now, it will only do it on the part that you're doing. And if you use your fingers, put your fingers on the ruler, you can then spin it around. And as you can see at the bottom of the display, you'll see it will show the angle as well. So if I change that to 90, like that, and I'll quickly do one like that, and do it down here as well, and then quickly do one like that. So as you can see, it's not perfect, but it's very straight, for example. So that's really good about the ruler. And I also like this one. Again, you can use your two fingers and pinch in and out to make it bigger. and you'll see there's 3 anchor points. If you click on them, you can drag it around. So again, if I tried to make a C, you can't make a perfect C, you'd need more anchor points than the 3. But then I could go like this. I'll change the draw on the outside like that, for example, and I could change the color. And on the inside one, do that, and then remove the ruler. And you've got that, a real straight line. So the rule, I really like the rulers. They're good that you've got them on here. You've also got things on here, for example, click on that, and whatever you draw, then it will go on to the other 4. I'll take the ruler off. You can see you've got that, which is really good. And bearing in mind, this is an Android app, and it's free to use. I think this is, the options you've got are really good. That obviously gives you a straight line. So again, you could use that instead of the ruler for things like that, but the ruler will still be good for other things. And that will give you a straight line. I'll take that symmetry off. To take it off, you just, if it's on, you'd see that it's blue at the top here. You just click it off and it would go off. And you've got oval and rectangle as well. And then here, this one is predictive stroke. Couldn't really get on with that one really. I think, yeah, it essentially changes what you're doing. So if I do it and I'm a bit, say, jagged like that, when it stops, it will smooth it out. So that's quite a good option here. And then you've got options here. You can add images, which is really good. Got no images to download on here because this is my new Chromebook and I was messing about with it, so I've cleared it so there's no images at the moment. But you can add images, you can insert images, and then you'd be done like that. And then you've got text as well. You can add text. So if we just added Chrome, hit return, and then you've got Chrome. Now, as you will see, I've entered that Chrome. On the left, on the right-hand side here, you'll see it added a layer automatically. So when you add text, it adds a layer. And you'll also see that me pointing to where I was looking at, both of them, you'll see in a second, a very small, you can see, have added to this Chrome layer. And that's because that Chrome layer is selected. If I didn't want them to be added to that, I would then click on that layer as like that, for example. Change the color, and you'll see that come on to that layer, ever so small, you won't see. So the reason for layers is that layers are good if you wanted to have things on top of each other. For example, if I wanted to, let me just change the brush. I wanted to have this like that on a blue background, like that. Because I'm doing that on the layer below the Chrome, so we're looking now here, because I'm doing it below, it's not writing over the actual black Chrome. If I hold that down, that Chrome layer, with my finger, I can drag it underneath, and then you won't see the Chrome as much because it's underneath. So that's the reason why you have layers. So it's really good. You can add as many layers as you want. All decent image programs will have layers, but you can add layers just by pressing that plus key there, and it'll add a new layer for you. You've also got the option up here as well. You can actually record the video, and as you can see, it's got a red dot now, and that's because I hit record, and it will record what I do, which I think is great for an Android app like this, and it's free to use. I think it's very good. You can save it to device, but I'll discard it. I don't need to keep that, and that's fine. Now, in relation to this side here, if, for example, because this is 1920 by 1080, this image, if I was drawing like that, and you're like, oh, I'm coming up to this menu, how can I get to the end? Just carry on drawing and the menu will disappear. It's really good. Same with these ones at the top, just disappear, and this one all the way down here, left hand side, they just disappear. It's great. You've obviously got as well a fill option, and you can fill that. If I change that color to a yellow, and then click on there. Oh, I don't know why it's done that. All right, so let's undo that. Why has it done that? Because it's because I'm on the wrong layer. So as you can see on the right hand side, it's on the wrong layer. So I need to choose the layer that I'm working on, which is that one. And now if I click on it with the fill option, it will do fill the rectangle. So this is a really good, obviously I've only showed you the basics, but I think the best thing to do with programs like this or Android apps like this is just to use them. And I was using this quite a lot last night, and I really do like it. And as I says, although I liked Sketch previously, this is better than Sketch, what Sony did. And I think that's why Sony discontinued it. Maybe they're working on a new app, but this app, and it is called, in case you didn't get it, scroll down, it's Sketchbook, and this one here, Sketchbook. So if you are looking for an app to use and you've got a stylus, you might as well do. I'm not the best drawer in the world, but I love just doodling. I really do enjoy it. I would definitely recommend using Sketchbook and see how you get on. I think it is definitely one of the best you can use, and it's not obviously just for your Chromebook. You can also use it on your phone, but it might be a bit limited, or if you've got a tablet you can use it on that as well. But obviously it would have to have a stylus to get the best out of it. So I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please like and subscribe to the channel for future videos, and thanks for watching.